Hello everyone, and welcome to my Royal Family official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It's difficult to image members of the royal family partaking in the wild stag and hen do customs, with their obscene costumes and copious drinking. But royals have had just as much fun in their final days of freedom as any other bride or groom-to-be. Some young royals have been spotted partying at London's most exclusive clubs, while others have been thrown in the back of a police van. Despite efforts to keep the plans hidden, even the most secret gatherings have been revealed, including Prince Philip's unofficial bash, which was revealed 70 years after his marriage to the Queen. Prince William headed off for a weekend away with the boys in Devon before marrying his long-term girlfriend Kate Middleton. The boozy stag do was held at Hartland Abbey, where the group shot clay pigeons, went surfing, and drank costly, vintage port. According to a source at the time, Prince William was obliged to wear a breast wig, hairpiece, and a sticker on his forehead with the Queen's name, which he took all in good spirits. William's closest friends and family were present, including his brother Prince Harry, Thomas van Strabenzee, Guy Pelly, Ade and Hugh van Cutsum, and Tom Inskip. The original plans, which involved a similar trip, but on the other side of the county in Exmouth, were leaked in the run-up to the much-anticipated stag do, resulting in a last-minute change of location. The future king told press at the time that the event had been organized with military precision to keep the plans as secret as possible. All attendees were also informed that there was a stringent "what goes on tour stays on tour" policy in place. The stags spent the entire weekend at the ancient monastery, which dates back to the 12th century, enjoying the extensive gardens and private seashore. It is owned by the Stuckley family, whose son George is William's close buddy and joined in on the weekend fun. It was a rather mild stag weekend by a lot of people's standards, the insider said after the stag. It was simply a bunch of boys having a nice time without their other halves. Kate Middleton's hen do was described as a low-key occasion at the time, similar to her fiancé's laid-back stag do. The hen do was organized by her sister Pippa Middleton, who went to great efforts to keep the event location a secret, including hiring 4 separate bars in London. However, the occasion was alleged to have taken place at the home of a mutual acquaintance. Cheryl claimed more than a decade later that Kate told her she dressed up like the singer for her hen do. The princess was claimed to have done her own version of Cole's Fight for This Love while dressed in a sexy bodysuit with split-flared trousers. "Did you realize you've got a bit of competition?" William asked Cheryl backstage during the Queen's Diamond Jubilee event in 2012. He and Kate burst out laughing when the Princess of Wales admitted to singing Fight for This Love, Cheryl's No. 1 hit from 2009. Kate confessed that she dressed up as me on her hen night, in a bodysuit and split trousers, and sang Fight for This Love, Cheryl stated in her tell-all book My Story. She even learned the dance routine and was, by all accounts, step perfect. Meanwhile, only a few of Kate's closest friends attended the celebration, including classmates from Marlborough College and teammates from the Sisterhood Dragon boat crew. She was a member of at St Andrews University. Hugh van Custom's wife Rose Astor and Alice Haddon Peyton, who is married to his younger brother Nicholas, were other significant members. Olivia Beesdale and Astrid Harbord, who shared a flat with Kate and William at Oxford, were also present. The princess is known among her closest friends to shun alcohol, therefore the celebration was unlikely to focus on heavy drinking. The details of Prince Harry's stag do ahead of his wedding to Meghan Markle were mostly kept under wraps. The site was kept top secret at the time, but there was speculation that it was hosted in the Swiss ski town of Verbier or in the Scottish Highlands. According to one source, Prince Andrew offered Harry and his buddies his £13 million Chalet Halora. "I have just seen Harry's advanced close protection crew arrive into La Vache for lunch," a source told the Daily Star in the weeks leading up to the wedding. "They are evidently on a reconnaissance mission." A number of staff members recognized the royal protection officers who skied with Harry in 2016. However, the Duke of Sussex disclosed in his explosive memoir, Spare, that the weekend had actually taken place at a friend's home in Hampshire. His brother and about 15 pals were believed to be present, and there were drinking games, a mechanical ball, and tennis games. When everyone got tired of firing guns, they dressed me like a large yellow-feathered chicken and sent me downrange to shoot fireworks at me, Prince Harry said in his book. In his autobiography, he also stated that he spent much of his stag night worrying that Prince William might cut his beard. I arrived at my stag party ready to party, to laugh, have a wonderful time, and get rid of all this tension, Harry wrote of his bachelor party in 2018. But I was also afraid that if I became too clear, too intoxicated, and passed out, Willie and his friends would shave me. Prince Harry said in the book that the heir to the throne informed him he needed to shave before walking down the aisle and was livid when he didn't. Meghan Markle, Prince Harry's fiancée, chose to make her hen do low-key, having it at the Luxury Members Club's Soho house. Meghan was whisked away to the A-list favourite Soho farmhouse in Oxfordshire for a 2-night stay with her closest friends and family ahead of her May wedding in 2018. Marcus Anderson, a consultant at Soho House Group, was in charge of organising the weekend. Two of Meghan's closest friends, Pilates instructor Heather Dorak and New York TV producer Lindsay Jill Ross, travelled in from the United States for the weekend. Lindsay, whom Meghan met at Northwestern University, was Meghan's maid of honour for her wedding in Greece in 2016. Kate was very pregnant at the time, and her mother was in Los Angeles, so a smaller bridal shower was planned ahead of the big day. There was a stringent no social media policy in place for the weekend, which was centered on a festival of friendship in which attendees spent time catching up. According to the magazine, the hen party planned to stay up for an Oscar viewing party on Sunday night, but changed their minds when they realized it wouldn't start until midnight UK time. Guests most likely used the spa facilities, cooking workshops, and possibly the Electric Barn cinema. Zara Tindall chose to have her wedding overseas before marrying Mike Tindall in 2011. Princess Anne's daughter was spotted in Portugal wearing a pink tutu and wig, accompanied by 19 girlfriends. Sky Sports presenters Kirsty Gallagher and Dee Doherty, Prince Harry's ex-girlfriend Natalie Pinkham, and Kenny Dalglish's daughter Lindsay were among those on the boisterous trip. All were said to have participated in rowdy drinking games while staying at the Campo Real Golf Resort and Spa, a 200-acre gated development being built by a friend of her father's, Eduardo Neto de Almeida. The groom-to-be was photographed cruising South Beach with 10 companions, including fellow international and best man Aine Balshaw, and spending £12,000 on drinks in only 5 hours at one nightclub. The gang received VIP treatment at the club LIV, where they began by ordering a bottle of vintage Perrier Jacques Brut Millesine to their table for £508. At £859, Dom Perignon Rose 96, 10 bottles of vodka, 10 bottles of Patron tequila, a bottle of Sambuca, and 34 cans of Red Bull were also on the bill, all delivered by scantily clad waiters. The drinking sessions continued into the hotel pools, with some of the males seen exchanging phone numbers with bikini-clad girls, and the groom was even seen wearing a waitress tutu. They also ate at Meat Market, one of the city's most expensive steakhouses, where Mike seemed to accept a challenge to drink a carafe of pricey red wine. More than a decade later, he told Alex Payne on Joe UK's House of Rugby about his royal relatives' reactions to his wild weekend. "I got ripped. They got dug into me after I got back from my stag do when it was the Duke's 90th, he explained. "They're all of them. It was all over the news. Had a good time, didn't you?" Princess Eugenie apparently left the shenanigans to her sister Princess Beatrice ahead of her wedding in 2018. It was suggested at the time that the party weekend would take place on the Spanish island of Ibiza, but no specifics about the event were ever disclosed, Thus, no one knows for sure where it took place. There have been no reports of Princess Beatrice's hen party, possibly because she married in July 2020 during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Prior to her wedding, there would have been restrictions on group gatherings, with several months spent under a full-fledged countrywide lockdown, with everyone isolated to their household. Fergie, a royal rebel, is said to have undergone the first royal hen do before marrying Prince Andrew in 1986. Princess Diana, the Duchess's longtime friend, was among the shenanigans as the entourage dressed up as police officers for a night out in London. They faked to arrest one of their friends outside Buckingham Palace, but were apprehended by real police and driven away in a police van. There was always danger afoot when the two women got together, notably on Fergie's hen night when she and Diana wore grey wigs, dressed up as policewomen, and pretended to arrest a prostitute outside Buckingham Palace, Sarah Bradford previously alleged to the Mail. They were loaded into a police vehicle and transported down the Mall until one of the officers recognized Diana. He couldn't believe it and said, "Oh my heavens, it's the Princess of Wales." When the police realized it was the Princess of Wales and the royal bride-to-be, they let the women go, and they went to the elite Mayfair bar Annabelle's, where Prince Andrew was also apparently partying. According to the Express, the club's manager, Lewis, mistook them for kissograms, in which individuals pay to dress up and kiss someone. It must have seemed like a police raid for a time. Then guests evidently concluded they were kissogram gals, he claimed. One of the employees told them that 1 or 2 kissogram girls were fine, but 4 of them were an embarrassment to others. After missing Prince Andrew at the club, the group perpetrated a prank on him by closing the Buckingham Palace gates as he approached in his car, making him fear an ambush. Fergie said in her autobiography that she told the Queen about the event, and she thought it was reasonably amusing. Unlike his bride-to-be Sarah Ferguson, Prince Andrew's stag do was a far more private occasion. The celebration, however, had a star-studded guest list, with Elton John and Sir David Frost among those who joined the prince at his cousin Lord Lascelles' Aubrey House in Notting Hill. Fergie claimed she wanted to gatecrash the evening, but guards were stationed at the house's single entrance, which has the second largest private garden in London after Buckingham Palace, throughout the night. 6 days before his wedding to Princess Diana in 1981, the future king organised a dinner at White's, London's oldest and most exclusive gentlemen's club. He gathered his closest friends, including Winston Churchill's grandson Nicholas Soames, for a simple dinner of cold meats, potatoes, peas and beans washed down with plenty of champagne. Despite the fact that the event was kept secret, Charles was allegedly enraged when he exited after midnight to the sight of rows of cameras. Ingrid Seward, a royal specialist on Channel 5, said, "Obviously everyone was sworn to secrecy. They had a lot of great wines and some wonderful champagne, which was Charles' favourite. Someone leaked it, and then there was a lot of press outside," she added. Clearly, Prince Charles was enraged. Diana reportedly admitted the following day at a Buckingham Palace garden party that the couple had rode upon Charles' return from his party. According to journalist John Edwards, she stopped directly in front of me. We were barely a few feet apart, and somebody shouted to her, "Good luck, sweetie." "Thank you very much," she murmured, then put her palm over her mouth and continued, "There was a terrible row last night between Charles and me at his stag party." She repeated it in her girly voice. She didn't go on about what the dispute was about. He stated on Channel 5's Charles and Dee the truth behind their wedding. Diana held her hen party at Annabelle's in London, where she was photographed by English social photographer Richard Young. "I knew she had to go somewhere for her hen night, and I knew there was only one place she'd come, and it'd be here," he told the BBC from the club. While hen parties were still in their infancy at the time of Diana's wedding, she would return to the same club 5 years later dressed as a police officer for Fergie's pre-wedding event. The late Queen's husband-to-be enjoyed 2 stag parties before marrying the future monarch in 1947. One was a formal reception hosted the night before the wedding at the Dorchester Hotel in London, where photographers were allowed to capture the scene. Royal expert Victoria Howard described on Channel 5 how the prince and his pals duped the photographers into handing over their cameras and damaged the bulbs in order to keep the rest of the evening private after the formal images were taken. However, nearly 70 years after the wedding, details of a secret stag do held a few days earlier at the Belfry Club were revealed, revealing how the prince partied in style with his closest friends. A bespoke menu, designed by artist Felix Topolsky, revealed the group dined on foie gras, turtle soup, mixed grill, and crepes Suzette. Many of the visitors were members of Philip's Thursday Club, which met every week for lunch at Wheeler's Fish Restaurant in Soho. Notable guests included the Marquess of Milford Haven, who would go on to be Philip's best man 6 days later, Baron Noham, and journalist Philip Youngman Carter, who would go on to edit the high society magazine Tatler. As a celebration of the nuptials, a lavish party was held at Buckingham Palace the night before Elizabeth's wedding. The magnificent banquet, held by the bride's parents, was described as one of the most lovely spectacles I've ever seen in my life by American journalist Cobina Wright in the Journal American in 1947. According to the New Yorker, Princess Elizabeth wore an oyster white satin gown with a highly bouffant skirt in which panels or paillettes were placed in. The writer was startled by the display of jewels worn by the guests, and Queen Mary is supposed to have donned a grey-blue gown with the Order of the Garter ribbon. She concluded that Elizabeth looked as fresh and dewy as ever last night, despite the huge burden of royal wedding preparations. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.